Right, my name is Niall Fraser, and I'm standing with Bothwell Castle as a backdrop, looking like a Highlander, wielding a sword. I could dress in full tartan regalia, paint my face, and do a heart-rending scream for freedom, and then pay 40 actors to bolt down the hill behind me, handing out laptops and bikes as they go. But I'm no a fool. And better yet, I don't treat you, the fine people of Scotland, the electorate, like you're fools either. We're beyond this nonsense. Scotland's fed up of being pandered to. Now, I don't know how much the Alba party paid for that horrendous video of Robert the Bruce's endorsement of Alex in Alba, but I paid about £3 in petrol to get here. And I challenge Alex, tell us how much you spent on that utterly cringeworthy video. I mean, it's 2021 and he's harking back to 1314 as if it wasn't 700 odd years ago, if it wasn't 25 generations. The electorate of Scotland are not daft, so stop treating them as if they are. That video attempts to bypass the logic and reason centres in your brain and go straight for your emotions. It's completely transparent, and Alex and Alba should be ashamed of themselves. They must think you're so gullible, that you're buttoned up the back, that you were born yesterday. Why did they go for your emotions straight away? I'll tell you why. It's because there's no economic argument, no logical argument to be had for independence. Zero, zilch, and they know it. So logic and reason gets flung out the window. They can only play on your emotions. The time for swords has come and passed, Alex. Besides, we all know the pen is mightier than the sword. And before you picked up your pen to write your Alba manifesto, you should have wrote a letter of apology to all those women that you wronged. It's time for a pen and a plan that actually works. In 2014, 2.1 million people voted against independence and separation, with 1.6 million voting for it. You lost, Mr. Salmond. The people of Scotland spoke and said no. Now you're using a political strategy to attempt to obtain an overwhelming Holyrood majority to request or demand another referendum. The result, we believe, will be much the same. Maybe a bit closer because some of our wise elderly have since passed on. The majority of Scotland will still vote to remain part of the Union. The Scottish Government's track record is staggeringly appalling. Education, failure. Drug deaths, failure. Child poverty, failure. Urgent cancer referrals, failure. Life expectancy, failure. Jobs, failure. COVID care home deaths, our elderly failed to death. All these facts are easily checked. And if you didn't check these facts, then you're marching towards the dream, the illusion of independence, completely blind. Please take 15 minutes of your life to check what I'm saying. That's all it takes. Alex Salmond and Nicola Sturgeon will only succeed in dividing our nation further. If and when an independence vote is voted down or defeated, the Holyrood infighting will only continue, and in all probability it'll worsen, if that's even possible. I'll leave you with this before I finish up. Notice how Nicola Sturgeon always went, she went from always saying Westminster to always naming Boris Johnson. It's a shameful tactic to personalise, drum up and merchandise hatred for the man. It really is quite shameful, but fortunately it's very transparent, as they always are. Don't be fooled, Scotland. The SNP have proved pitiful at managing Scotland. The SNP can't manage the finances of Scotland with Westminster help, so without it, we've got no chance. In an increasingly tumultuous world, we're clearly better and safer together.